said you work for, I'm like, going, a Falconry waste management, not getting the correlation here.
As you can see, like, she's got a hold of my finger and she hasn't decided to let go of it. That's a step up. But as you see, like, I forcibly took it off. Her talon is still clenched. Like I said, it is a conscious effort they have to make to open their feet. Little pad on that's called a hood. It covers their eyes because their eyesight is their strongest sense. So by covering her eyes, I can keep her calm. I can move her anywhere, and she's going to pretty much stay still. I can touch her.
How long is the training?
Training takes about a month. First we start with what's called manning, and manning is exactly kind of how it sounds. I'm getting her used to man. I'm getting her used to me knowing that I'm not a predator, that I'm not going to steal her food from her. It's basically, at the least, I have to work with her an hour a day. For the first few days, I did nothing but sit in a darkened room and hold her. I'd put a little meat in the glove, and it took about a week before she would actually bend her head down, which puts her in a vulnerable position to pick up the meat. How we train them is by weight control and positive reinforcement. I can't yell at her and say, "Bad bird." She's going to look at me and go, "Yeah, right," whatever. So every time she does an action that I want her to do, I give her a piece of food. But I also have to control her weight, because what gets her to respond to me is her always being hungry, not starving.
How fast can she fly?
She can get up to 30 miles an hour.
How long will you have a bird like that?
Normally, for an apprentice falconer, your first bird you keep for 1 year, which starts in September. September 1st starts trapping season in New York State for apprentice falconers. And apprentice falconers are only allowed to have either a red-tailed hawk or a kestrel falcon. And a kestrel, compared to her, stands maybe that tall. We have a contract at JFK Airport. We fly falcons there to keep starlings and other flock-type birds away from the runways because of the airstrikes in the engines. At the landfill, what I'm doing is I am keeping seagulls away from the trash. Because, when we first started at the landfill, they had close to 40,000 seagulls daily landing in the trash. And what would happen is the heavy equipment's moving back and forth. It would stir them all up, and it was like being in, a blinding snowstorm almost, in a sense. They're very dirty. People were complaining about their birds being, their cars being covered in, bird droppings. And
I have a son who's interested in this, and I actually have the manual for it is sitting on our desk at home. So, what words of caution do you have for someone looking into this? Like, you better really think about this.
It's very dedicated. Like my husband and I are talking about when he comes back, us taking a family vacation together. I have to find somebody qualified that can take care of the bird for me.
Normajean, you mentioned that she is primarily for hunting. And you do small game hunting with her. Does she eat what she gets, or is that for you and your family as well? How does that work?
Well,
in the old days, they used to probably use them to get food.
Yeah, and